Greetings, delegates. Welcome to the second virtual E. Ahmad Model United Nations Conference 2021. I, Anaushka Sanjeev Madavi, will serve as the president for the United Nations Human Rights Council. During the course of the webinar, you will be briefed on committee procedures, position papers, and the process of resolution drafting. We will also introduce you to the agenda of our committee, that is, the importance of the proper distribution of vaccines for COVID-19 and understanding the demographics.
Greetings, delegates. I am Riddhi Singh and I will be serving as the Vice President of the United Nations Human Rights Council. As the Vice President of the committee, I will be assisting the President in ensuring that the debate unfolds as per the rules of procedure and the delegates do not deviate from the topic.
Greetings, delegates. I'm Aaron Saju, and I'll serve as the rapporteur of the United Nations Human Rights Council. I will aid in the smooth flow of committee proceedings on this digital platform.
The Human Rights Council is an intergovernmental body of the United Nations, which carries the responsibility of strengthening the promotion and protection of human rights. It addresses the various situations of human rights violations around the globe. Every year, the council meeting takes place at the UN office in Geneva.
This year, the UNHRC committee will deal with the issue regarding the proper distribution of the COVID-19 vaccines and the vulnerability of certain demographics. Health is a universal right. The status of COVID-19 vaccines as products in the marketplace, available only to those who can pay the asking price, is contradictory to the ethos of universal and uniform healthcare for all. Rather, the vaccines to this deadly virus should be allocated as public goods for social welfare than economic gains. Each human is entitled to the right to enjoy scientific progression and its implications, to reap the benefits attached to it, and attain the highest possible standard of health. I, for one, think that there is a huge scope for discussion and discourse on this issue, and I look forward to hearing all of you voice your opinions on it.
Every MUN has a set of rules of procedure it follows. In EMUNC, we begin with the roll call. Each session begins with a roll call, wherein the Bureau member will call out the names of the member states in alphabetical order. Delegates are expected to raise their hand and say present when their country has been called out. In case a delegate arrives after the roll call, he or she is expected to send a message to the chair confirming their presence.
Next, we move on to the general debate. General debate statements are an opportunity for each delegate to outline their nation's general thinking on the topic, highlight any national concerns, and suggest initiatives or any other course of action it intends to pursue at the conference. In case the delegate finds the need to respond to a statement made by any other delegate, he or she can make a statement in reply. This is called the right of reply. In addition, if a delegate would like to inquire into the factual details of another delegate's speech, he or she may use the point of information. A delegate who wishes to exercise their right of reply can only do so twice during the end of the general debate.
After the general debate is over, we begin with the informal consultations. Here, the committee will be divided into subgroups. At this stage, the rules of procedure are suspended.
Before breaking into political groups for the resolution drafting process, the entire committee must decide how it wants to structure its operative section of the resolution. It is recommended that the committee first agrees upon 4 broad sections that the resolution should address. Delegates will then meet with their political groups to begin drafting their resolutions in a breakout room. The Bureau decides the political or regional groups in advance and will allocate the delegates to their respective groups. Once each bloc has completed formulating their working papers, we move on to an important phase, that is, merging of the various drafts to form a single complete draft resolution. This process is known as the Vienna formula, and it is facilitated by the Bureau. For this purpose, the Bureau will first compile the drafts into one document and circulate it to the delegates. Each political group will have the opportunity to review this document before the merging process begins. While reviewing, it is recommended that the groups tag paragraphs that could be combined with other paragraphs, shortened or deleted.
To begin the Vienna formula process, one representative from each bloc will be the speaker, with the remaining member states of the bloc supporting the discussed and agreed viewpoint. It is encouraged to rotate the representing delegates frequently. The result must be a draft resolution that is comprehensive and concise. Once the draft is ready to be reviewed, the document must be submitted to the Bureau along with a list of sponsors. The main submitters or authors of the draft resolution are termed sponsors. Remember, sponsors cannot suggest any amendments during the line-by-line review.
The next phase is the line-by-line review of the draft resolution. During this review, non-sponsors will have an opportunity to propose changes to the draft, that is, amendments. The proposed amendment can add a paragraph, delete a paragraph, or modify an existing paragraph. The amendments will not be debated upon during the line-by-line review. After the completion of the line-by-line review, the sponsors and non-sponsors and examples in support of their stand. This process may be done in two ways. The sponsors and non-sponsors deliberate informally, or it may be moderated by the Bureau.
After the mentioned line-by-line review, we have the formal meeting to take action. At this stage, the review draft resolution must be formally introduced to the committee by the main sponsor. After this, the Bureau will ask the delegates if there are any objections to the draft resolution. If there are none, the draft resolution is adopted by consensus and is renamed as Resolution 1.1.
Now, we move on to your position paper. Remember, delegates, if the general debate is your committee's first impression of you, the position paper is your Bureau's. What would be the textbook definition of a position paper? A position paper is a document elaborating on the topic, your country's position in the context of the topic, and the possible solution to the problem. Good research on your country and topic, along with clearly organized paragraphs, are the key features of a good position paper. It is generally divided into 3 paragraphs. You can always begin with a quote that is relevant to your country and topic. Beginning with facts that pertain to your topic can also grab the attention of the reader. An important point to note is how you represent your ideas.
The first paragraph deals with the topic and highlights the main issue of the committee. This can be supported with statistics to show how alarming the issue is. The second paragraph should focus on your country's policies. You may begin with what international agencies like the UN have already done about the issue. Then you must inevitably your country's position on the topic.
The final paragraph is where you can gain the most from your creative problem-solving skills. This paragraph should emphasize on possible solutions to the problem at hand in your country's perspective that also align with the country's existing policy. The conclusion should be done with striking a remark that sums up the entire paper. The bibliography is where you are required to cite websites and sources of the information, and that gives the end to your position paper.
Always remember that as a delegate, one's role is to represent their country in the best way possible in an international arena. A position paper should never be critical of the country. Each position paper undergoes several plagiarism checks, so it is very important that all the text is rewritten in one's own words. These points may be what differentiates a stunning position paper from the rest.
We here at EAMUNC deeply value consensus. The participants agree to a decision in the best interest of the whole group. The decision doesn't have to be the favored decision of every individual. Rather, it has to be one that can be accepted by everybody.
Consensus is the very spirit of an MUN. The best delegate is not the one who speaks the most, but the one who tries to invoke cooperation and agreement among all the delegates, thus building consensus in the committee.
Delegates must seek to make the debate an inclusive one by ensuring that the resolution addresses the concerns of as many delegates as possible. This can be achieved by paying close attention to the formal and informal debates. Delegates will be discussing their ideas and position during these debates. They will want to consider how the vast variety of ideas can be brought together to create a resolution which reflects the common goals of the committee.
Now, we move on to the specific rules pertaining to the online MUN format. First, the mics of delegates will remain muted throughout the session and will be unmuted only when the delegate raises their hand and is recognized by the Bureau to speak. Second, your video should be switched on at all times. Failure to do so will be noted. Third, chatting among delegates is not recommended during the time of the committee sessions. Fourth, delegates are required to message the Bureau members in case of any doubts or emergencies during the conference period.
We now move on to the awards. Delegates will receive 4 types of awards, depending on their performance and participation during the conference. They are as follows: Best Delegate Award, Best Position Paper Award, Diplomacy Award, Honorable Mention.
Now, let us clear up some common misconceptions people have about MUN conferences.
First, more importance should be given to the country rather than a topic.
This is false. Many delegates research extensively on all aspects of their country and leave out researching their topic. Keep in mind that only with good knowledge of the topic, one will be able to combine the two together when writing your position paper as well as resolution drafting.
Second, one needs to speak a lot during the conference.
It is not in how much you speak, but what you speak about. The conference teaches us about diplomacy, which is voicing opinions and adopting them, but in a way that everyone can agree to. Remember to state your opinions in a diplomatic and understanding manner.
Third, research means searching the depths of the internet.
Always be systematic when you research. Having an aim in mind and accessing reliable sources are the key to good research. Organize your information and think about where you lack resources. Have a thorough revision of the background guide, but keep in mind that it is never the limit of your research.
And thus, we come to the end of the webinar. We hope this has been a helpful and insightful guide for you to begin with. Remember, delegates, it is hard work and passion that takes us forward. We look forward to meeting all of you, and good luck.